If you are a merchant, it's important to understand what a payment gateway really is because it has a direct impact on your revenue. Okay. So, in today's conversation, I want to explain to you what a payment gateway is and how it works. So, here are the facts I want you to pay attention to. The thing is that if you look at the payment gateway, I want you to look at a platform that allows you to get paid in real time as fast as possible. I mean, not in real time, but as fast as possible. You need to get paid, let's say, accurately as fast as possible. So, simply put, a payment gateway is a solution that securely reads and transfers a customer's payment information to a merchant's bank account. Okay, both for online and in-person transactions. So, if you are at a festival, if you are at a flea market, and whatever whatever the location that you are finding yourself at, a payment gateway is going to make sure that you get paid. Okay, so think of it as a cash register, except that the payments it processes are non-cash. So those may include what? Credit cards, debit cards, e-checks, and digital wallets. Okay, so when I say digital wallets, I'm talking about Google Pay, Apple Pay, Amazon Pay, PayPal, Venmo, etc. So this is kind of I'm just painting for you the picture I want you to keep in your mind. Okay, so essentially, a payment gateway is a piece of software that creates a secure tunnel for customers to connect with and transfer funds to merchants in online transaction. It's also, and this is an important element to mention, it's also the software in your POS system or a card readers that processes the customer's payment data in a brick and mortar setting. Okay, so the job of the payment gateway is pretty simple. Basically, it has to capture payment info securely, making sure that adequate funds are available in the customer's account, and finally, get the merchant paid. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay. And what about payment gateways versus processors, payment processors? Well, payment processors facilitate the transfer of payment data between card issuing banks and acquiring banks to transfer funds to your merchant account. However, they will need the help of payment gateways to actually authorize the transaction and communicate with the other moving parts. Okay, and what is the payment gateway account? It's actually an account or a payment processor solution that allows you to accept debit card and credit card payments from your customers in online and brick and mortar settings. So, this is really important to think about. So, what are the stakeholders here? If you think about a payment gateway, the key stakeholders involved in payment gateway processing are really diverse. Okay, you have a bunch of stakeholders. So, but it's important to understand that there are five key elements that actually come together to make sure that the payment gateway does its job as accurately as possible, but also as safely. So, the first moving part is the customer. Second, the merchant. Third, card networks. Fourth, the customer's card issuing bank. And fifth, the merchant's bank or acquiring bank. Let me explain a little further. So when I say the customer, for instance, the customer can also be the cardholder, by the way. Okay, so it's actually the person who makes the purchase. It's the person who makes a purchase, and so this is so everything starts with the customer. By the way, there is no transaction without the customer initiating a purchase. So the customer or cardholder who makes a purchase, that's number one. The number two, the merchant or a business that makes the sale, right? After the purchase is made, the sale is made too. Number three, you have card networks like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. Diners, okay? And those networks manage the customer's card. The fourth, the customer's card issuing bank that holds the credit card account. This can be Chase, this can be Wells Fargo, this can be Choice, this can be PNC, and so on and so forth. And number five, the merchant's bank or acquiring bank that holds the merchant's bank business account. This could be BMO Harris. This could be Bank of America. This could be Key Bank. This could be whatever. Okay. So again, I just want you to really hold that picture in your head because it's important to understand that those five key stakeholders play a quintessential role in making sure that the payment gateway can do its job as accurately and as safely as possible. Let me go a little further here. I want to explain to you how a payment gateway does its work. So, payment gateways, I think I've said this before, those are the middlemen between your store and your customer, right? The gateways authorize the customer's payment and encrypt the cardholder information. Okay, and then the gateway also confirms afterwards the payment with the issuing bank and deposits the money into the merchant account. Now, the gateway itself, besides being secure and safe and everything, is an easy way to facilitate online transactions for your store. And the gateway performs this function by connecting to debit card and credit card networks. Like I said, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. It also reaches out to the credit card issuer, which is the issuing bank or financial institution that provided the card to your customers in the first place. So after connecting to the network and issuer, the gateway verifies the validity of the customer's credit card information and overall transactional data. So once the gateway receives an answer from from the issuer regarding the availability of funds and the authenticity of the information, it passes on the acceptance or the rejection of the transaction to you and your customer. So this allows you to confirm whether a transaction has been validated. So I want you to look on the screen here, a more flashed out look at how payment gateway works. So you can see that you have customer, payment gateway, payment processor, and merchant account. Again, everything starts with the customer initiating a transaction. This is quintessential. This is quintessential. Without a customer, nothing is happening because see, the customer has to validate the info that's the gateway, the payment gateway sends over to all the other key stakeholders. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that it's important to understand that the gateway is constantly payment gateway is constantly validating the data. In other words, it will validate the data during the before the transaction, during the transaction, and sometimes in some payment gateway processes, information is then validated or revalidated a few minutes or a few hours after the transaction, especially for large amount transactions. So let's talk about the benefits of using a payment gateway. I mean, there are a lot of there are a lot of advantages, but a few of them actually stand out big time. Not only for your benefit as a merchant, but also for the client, for the customer, in terms of security, in terms of safety, in terms of accountability. So while the process involves intensive PCI compliance security and encryption methods to connect with a credit card issuer, the gateway ensures a simplified process on the front end, right? Because this actually ensures that customers don't have to go through complicated procedures to complete transactions at any point in time. See, the whole thing is that the whole process has been built to make the customer's life easier because it's the customer that initiate a transaction that kicks off everything. Okay. So, for instance, if the customer is processing the credit card payment online by themselves, they can enter the card details and then wait for just a few seconds before learning whether the credit card payment has gone through or not. Since the gateway is usually integrated with within your website or app, this doesn't require your customer to go through any complicated processes. They need to enter necessary information such as their name, first name, last name, card number, card expiration date, and CVV code, right? So similarly, suppose the transaction is being performed through a payment hardware such as a POS terminal. In that case, it only takes a few seconds after swiping, dipping, or tapping the card to know if the transaction is authorized or not. And this process also doesn't ask for any complicated details and requires the card to be present with an authorized user. So if you think about it, if you really picture the whole how do I say it, the whole layout, you can see that a payment gateway acts as the backbone of any merchant account setup because without the payment gateway's encrypted and robust connection to the card issuer and network, it's not possible to authorize or confirm transactions. And keeping this in mind, a gateway account is essential to every business and organization that wants to accept credit card and debit card payments. Okay, so basically, payment gateways can be bundled with other merchant account services, especially if you have the right relationship with the organization. Because many standard merchant service providers bundle these services with their online or in-person hardware solutions from the start. These offerings are mostly seen with online payment gateways, so this is really good. So let me give you a few extras here. I'm still talking to you about what a payment gateway is and how it works. Okay, so why should you use the payment gateway in the first place? What kind of value added can you get from it? Well, one thing for sure, if you are a merchant, you can see that payment gateways secure your transactions so you can stay PCI compliant, right? PCI DSS. So any business that handles, not bundles, that handles cardholder data needs to be compliant with PCI data security standards, DSS, right? So using a gateway is actually the best way to do this for your online store. Because the gateway, if you think about it, the gateway encrypts the cardholder's data so the info stays safe and secure. Payment gateways also give your customers a quick checkout experience. Adding too many steps, like creating an account to check out, can actually bring down a customer's experience, and you do not want to have that. You want customers to be happy to shop with your store. Okay, so if your customers are pissed, this can make them less likely to want to shop at your store again, and less likely to finish their transaction. But payment gateways don't disrupt the checkout process. Instead, what they do is that they allow you to seamlessly accept payments and encrypt the information so checkout is easy and secure. And that's what you want. And so basically, there are fees though, okay? When it comes to payment gateway, there are fees, and the payment gateway fee largely depends upon the provider that you choose. That being said, the fee payment model usually stays the same across different payment gateway providers. For example, if like regardless of the industry you're in, it is a usual practice for payment gateway service providers to attach a fee to each transaction that gets processed by the solution. In many cases, this includes a percentage of the whole transaction amount and a flat rate on top. And some providers can also include their additional pricing on top. Okay, so transaction fees can also change due to factors such as, I mean, there are various factors. Okay, it really depends on the provider. So if you are interested in getting a payment, in actually starting doing business with the payment gateway, there are a few factors you need to really look for. Okay, so security is a huge concern right off the bat. If you have to choose a payment gateway, you got to really pay attention to security. You need to be PCI compliant as a business owner. So ensuring the payment gateway you are using encrypts cardholder data is a must. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you should also make sure your payment gateway integrates with your shopping cart. Many online shopping carts allow for customization so you can create a branded experience from end to end. And your payment gateway and payment processor should also allow for easy integration when it comes to using their technology. Some merchants, service providers charge a fee for setting up or providing you with a payment gateway with a recurring charge every month. So be on the lookout for this extra fee. So this is kind of important. And so payment gateways are absolutely necessary for online stores and e-commerce. And the right processor can help you save money on credit card processing without adding on extra fees. So if I say that, how do you actually integrate with a payment gateway? Well, one thing you need to understand is that integrating a payment gateway solution into your business is not difficult. Several payment providers come with an integrated option, which means you do not have to buy your hardware POS equipment and your payment accounts from different solutions. This is especially true for online payment gateway services, which are offered directly by payment processors without hardware requirements, okay? Especially when it comes to flexibility. So, whether you're finding a best payment gateway solution for a brick and mortar solution, an online store, or a hybrid business that caters to both models, you do not have to go through strenuous processes if you know what you're doing. Okay, so this is really good from a scalability point of view. Uh, while a payment gateway for an in-person solution often comes in a ready-to-use offering, setting up an online payment gateway is also not difficult. You need to sign up with the service and integrate its back-end solutions on your website. So that's kind of cool. And from there, you can quickly start accepting credit card and debit card payments on your terms through your shopping cart. And payment gateway solutions also allow you to accept recurring payments conveniently, which adds to their overall ease of use. Also, let me talk to you about different types of payment gateways. Okay, you might have to choose between different types of payment gateways when it comes to that, and when it comes to functionality. Some payment gateways may allow you to integrate the interface within your website itself, so whereas others might redirect the customer to the payment gateways page. So in general, there are three types of payment gateways. You have on-site or self-hosted, you have off-site or hosted, and then you have redirects. So when I say on-site, in this case, the checkout and payment processing, those two are entirely handled by your own servers, which is usually the case with larger businesses. And then you have off-site or hosted. In this case, the checkout happens at your site or a physical store, but the payment processing takes place on your payment service provider's servers. And then you have redirects. In this case, the customer is redirected to a processor like Stripe or PayPal to complete the transaction. So basically, you can actually optimize credit card payments through a payment gateway really easily. Because overall, integrating a payment gateway into your day-to-day solutions is not necessarily challenging task. I think I've said this before, right? You just need to you just need to have the right provider and follow the instructions they tell you when it comes to inserting this in your backend. And this is important. As long as you reach out to a solution that strikes the perfect balance between a user-friendly and cost-effective approach, you can process customers' payment transactions with the utmost peace of mind. Okay, especially when it comes to functionality, but also affordability. So if you're thinking about fees or payment types, in addition to PCI compliance and securing payment information, remember that payment solution providers are actually there to help, especially the right ones who really care about customer experience. So, as a coda into this conversation, I explained to you what is a payment gateway and how it works. I give you the facts, the stakeholders, the extras, and now the coda. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.